Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Pay the Way, Chris. It's been a minute since I did one of these videos, but I'm back. Um, and yeah, bro, today's video, why the Bucs are the greatest offense we've seen of all time. Yes, they are the greatest offense we have seen of all time. I know some people might say, me and my cousin were having this argument. In his opinion, he was saying the the Eagles this year were the greatest offense we've seen of all time, and I just had to disagree. I'm not a person that goes for recency bias. Like, yeah, this Eagles team complete. Like, they were a good team. They had a solid D line. The secondary was good enough. You know what I'm saying? To get stops was good enough. And the offense was good. They had, Devontae Smith's the number one, A.J. Brown's the number one. Saquon Barkley's arguably he had the greatest running back season we've seen. Like, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm not just going to go as far as saying this is the greatest offense we've seen of all time. I can't say that. You know what I'm saying? Their pass game just showed up when they needed to. I mean, Jalen Hurts, I'm not going to sit here and say he's like an elite passer. Like, all of a sudden, he just has two decently targets. But when we talk about the greatest offense of all time, I mean, we got to go into depth. I just feel like that's the 2020 Bucs. If I'm looking over here, it's because I got the stats pulled up. I think people are like, do people really forget about this team? Like, do people truly forget about this team? Like, it's crazy what this team, like, really had, bro. This team was insane. Like, Brady coming there first season, you know what I'm saying? And by the way, this was the same team who ended their year off with a Jameis Winston pick six to end, like, their season. But Tom Brady came in through 4,633 yards, you know what I'm saying? And let's look at the weapons he had, right? They didn't sign Leonard Fournette until later on in the season. They didn't sign AB until later on in the season, right? Statistically, it's not going to show because their team didn't just start getting there until, like, all the pieces. I mean, if people want to go into more depth, their team was even more stacked the next season. I mean, I'm just surprised the way they lost to the Rams because, honestly, they should have made the comeback. And they could have honestly went back-to-back. But this season, I mean, just look, Brady. They had Leonard Fournette, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Gronk. And if you look at Gronk's stats, yes, Gronk was playing still to a high enough level. Yes, he was still playing like a top tight end in the league. Yes. You know what I'm saying? AB. And then Scotty Miller was very underrated too. They really had, bro, their team was stacked, bro. And then OJ Howard was a backup tight end. And he was pretty straight. He was pretty straight when he was playing too. So don't try to look at his stats. He was a pretty straight tight end when he was playing too. This is really crazy that this team gets underlooked. Like when it comes to like the greatest all, like people talk about the 16-0 Patriots. I think that was the 2012 Super Bowl team, like with Randy Moss and Brady, which I mean, yeah, it was up there. What's another team that gets talked about? Like, I think people might say like the Broncos when they played the Panthers, like that might be another team up there. I'm just trying to go off the dome. I mean, some people might say the Chiefs with Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce, like that was a good duo and stuff too. I'm just trying to think off the dome, but those are offenses that come in mind. Like, I wouldn't even go as far as saying Seattle. I mean, Seattle was not Seattle, but you get the point though. Like, this Eagles team, in my opinion, I don't think it's like the greatest offense we've seen of all time. Yeah, the names I just listed, like, and then like looking even more stats too. Their playoff run too. Another point I was trying to bring to him. Consistent as hell in the playoff in terms of points. I mean, like, their defense didn't give them a chance into the Super Bowl. But if we look at these numbers, like, they played they gave up 23 to the Commanders, and the Commanders could have possibly, I'm not saying they were, but they lost by 8. I mean, it shouldn't be an 8-point game. But their offense, 31 points. Brady, just, it's too many, like, that team was insane. You got to worry about Mike Evans, who was a 1, right? Chris Godwin, who could have been a 1 for another team. AB, this is coming off of what year? The year he played for the Patriots prior last season, and they cut him because of an allegation. He was still playing like a 1. How are you going to guard all three? And then on top of that, you have Rob Gronkowski, just another person to worry about. He didn't do anything in this game, but this is just crazy looking at this. AB caught a touchdown with 50 yards, 2 receptions. Chris Godwin, 5 receptions, 80 yards in the TD. Mike Evans, 120 yards. Leonard Fournette, 93 yards. And they started bringing the running game too in the playoffs too. This team was just crazy. This team was just crazy. And they did all that just to beat the Commanders. The Saints, who they haven't beaten all season, they came in and they beat them. They came in and they beat them. I mean, Drew Brees played horrible that game, but they came in and beat them. It's just a lot to worry about with this team in terms of passing targets. Like, 3 number ones. Like, I don't know how we can't sit here and say this is like AB, like it's a Hall of Famer. If you disagree, that's crazy. Hall of Fame receiver. Mike Evans is gonna be a Hall of Fame receiver, and Chris Godwin. I mean, I'm not gonna say anything in terms of Chris Godwin, but Chris Godwin is a good receiver when healthy. It's just, it's just a lot to worry about with this team, and yeah, they just played good all playoffs. They played good all playoffs, averaging 30, and then even when Super Bowl time came, AB stepped it up. He caught a touchdown in the Super Bowl. Gronk came to play in the Super Bowl too. Leonard Fournette with the rushing yards. It was just a crazy team. And then, like, the stats on to the following season, like the 2021 season before AB, like, just ran out on his team. Was that the 2021 or 2022 season? Pretty sure AB ran out on his team. Yeah, it was the 2021 season. But even that team, I mean, yeah, Brady had an even better year. And by the way, he was getting older too. 5,000 passing yards. Leonard Fournette splitting carries with Jones, had 800 rushing yards that season. Chris Godwin, 1,100 or 1,100 receiving yards. Mike Evans, 1,000 plus. We already know him. Gronk, 800 receiving yards. AB, 500 before he left with the BS. Honestly, that team could have had 3 1,000-yard receivers. And that's not crazy to say at all because Brady threw 5,000 yards that season. Like, he even got Tyler Johnson involved with 360 receiving yards and Leonard Fournette with 400 receiving. Like, Leonard Fournette was getting involved in the offense. Like, this team could have went back-to-back, honestly. But this team was just crazy. This team was just crazy. The fact that the Rams beat them, this team was just crazy. Like offensively. Obviously, the main thing with the Bucs was always their defense and their secondary. It wasn't the best. But this was just a crazy offense. And I just got to say, if no one else is going to say, it's the greatest offense we've seen of all time. I'm not really going to argue about it. I mean, it's just my opinion. My opinion, yeah, the 2021 Bucs, it's just, I don't know if we'll ever see a team with this much talent, like pure talent of all receiving cores. Yeah. Someone tell me if I'm wrong. Someone tell me if you disagree with me. In my opinion, I got the stats to prove for it, postseason and all that. If you disagree, let me know in the comments. Let me know if you mess with this video, but let me know what you think. It's your boy Pave the Way, Chris, and I'm out.